Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a different kind of review. That's because this one is a makeup episode from April 28th. I was supposed to do an episode that week and I was busy for 2 weeks. I had a lot of work and so I wasn't able to do those. So today I'm doing the makeup episode. So this one was originally supposed to go out April 28th and here we are. So this one of course is the Oolang Infini. If you follow me each week, you know that I am doing an Atelier series. I originally, here's the sample pack of 16 originally. I did 8 a long time ago, and then I decided to do the last 8. Last month and this month, I'm going through these. I'm really enjoying doing these reviews for this house. This one is Oolang Infini. This one is a 2011. And it is a woody aromatic, if I'm not mistaken, it is. And the parfumé is Jérôme Epinette. First time I'm reviewing something of his work. So I will tell you right off the bat that this one is a difficult review for me because throughout the week, I just kept going back and forth on this one. This one is an excruciatingly difficult rating for me because I love the note breakdown. I absolutely adore the note breakdown, and I like the originality factor, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But then there are times when I just don't, I don't know if it has that, if it packs enough punch. So I'll be talking about that throughout this episode. Before I dive in on the notes, let me just say thanks again for another week checking out my channel. I really appreciate it. I will be hanging up my skates next month, as I said. So let me know if you would like me to send you an Atelier postcard. I love these things. And you can just let me know in comments or shoot me a DM over at That Cologne Guy on Instagram. So let's get down to the notes. I mean, right off the top, I can tell you that I am a huge Neroli fan, and this one has a lot of it in the initial blast. And it just gets better, actually, because in the mid notes, there's jasmine too, but I don't know that I would have come up with that myself. But then, of course, you get tea. And then you get leather. And then in the base notes, you get guaiac wood. So neroli and guaiac wood are some of my favorite notes, and I really like tea fragrances anyway. So everything pointed towards me loving this fragrance. And so right off the bat, I just thought this one was going to be really, really perfect for me. Here's what I will say on the notes. Of course, that's subjective because I just happen to like those notes. I will say, though, that this one is I don't know that I've ever reviewed a neroli tea and then guaiac wood combination. So I really like the originality factor of this one. In fact, that is really what it's relying on, in my estimation, is the originality, number one. And then number two, when you think of, this smells like Earl Grey black tea, okay? It does. But here's the thing I really appreciate about this one. It's not like an earthy tea note, though. It's kind of like this airy, light, refreshing, clean tea. So don't think that it's one of those like earthy kind of patchouli mixed tea fragrances, because it does separate itself from the pack in the sense that this one is almost like a almost like an out of the shower tea fragrance, which I don't know if that even exists, but it is. And then or kind of an end of day, like after work, wind down. There is kind of a calming presence to this. There is, and so I do like that a lot about this fragrance. I was a little disappointed with. When I first read the notes, I just thought, man, this is going to be amazing on Fragrantica. But then when I actually wore it, I felt like some of that optimism waned a little bit, and that's unfortunate. Throughout the week, I mean, you can see I burned through it, but throughout the week, I I can't say that I loved it. I've told you guys before that a lot of times when I'm looking at the higher ratings, that when I get up, I always know that if I'm looking at a 4 or 5 out of 5 sprays in my rating system, I usually can't wait to wear it the next day. That one, it came close. I want to like it more than I actually do, is what I'm trying to say. But I will say though that one thing, I like the fact that it is airy and that it is very clean and that it is a tea-based fragrance that is not earthy. So I like that a lot. So think Earl Grey tea with neroli and a very light, jasmine and guaiac wood, and I think Haitian vetiver's in it as well, but very toned down. It does have a very austere feeling to it. I mean, it's a very lovely scent. I don't know that. I can't see a lot of people though having this like a burning desire though as like their signature scent. I could be way off. The other thing I want to say too is when I look at fragrances that are either tea based or you associate with that, I can't tell you if you gave me $200 right now, I can't say that I would choose this over Te Noir 29 by Le Labo or something like Philosophios by Diptyque. I mean, if you give me $200, I'd probably buy Philosophios by Diptyque. Maybe, and I would definitely, Te Noir 29 is just a phenomenal fragrance. I can't say that I would reach for this one above those. I wish I could, but I don't. I would, if I had the money, I would buy Philosophios by Diptyque. All right, and followed by Te Noir 29, followed by this. This would be the bronze medal of the ones that I mentioned at the niche level because the Bulgari's designer. Okay, and we'll talk quickly about nomenclature. I haven't done that too much lately, but this is Oolang Infini. And then, of course, we know Oolang is a tea for the tea lovers out there, one of my favorite teas. And I looked it up. Wulong is Chinese so Wu is black and Long is a dragon. So Wulong in Chinese was black dragon tea, and then of course in English and French there is, at least in French anyway, there's an A instead of the O. So instead of Oolong, it's Oolang, and then of course Infini is probably like infinite. So it's like infinitely black tea. So that's the nomenclature. And then, of course, let's quickly discuss the bad news. This is because if you're watching me each week, you know that this is going to be par for course and bad news when it comes to longevity, projection, sillage. In fact, I'll just tell you now it's not good. How's that? I won't even go into details. With the exception, I'll give you longevity. I mean, we're looking at like 2.5 to 4 hours on this one. This is very, very light. This is, in my estimation, please tell me if you disagree, I feel like this is the kind of fragrance that you would wear for yourself. I really do. This one has a cozy feeling. Cliche, hashtag cringy, but it is true. It is a very cozy scent. Those commercials, right? In fact, we should make a commercial for this one based on like the tea commercials where they always have like someone holding the teacup in both hands as they're like watching something and they're just cozy late at night. This one is, or in the evening. This one is perfect actually for that scenario. I do admit, and I could see somebody watching this episode saying, it is my signature scent, and it is because I like it for me. If you're coming in and out of the outdoors, like it's in the real feel category, it's 98 degrees out there. It's scorching hot, which is just the way I like it. And I can tell you now, this thing, if I put this on and then went outside, for 10 minutes, it'd be gone. And that's a turn off for me. But I could see how someone would put this on. Let's say you work first shift. Let's say you work 8 to 4, 9 to 5. You come home and you like to shower and then eat supper. Okay, fine. I could see a lot of people as they're winding down the day. I'll put this bad boy on about 5 o'clock and just really and stay home, right? And really appreciate that fragrance for themselves. In fact, if it's that intimate, then of course, if they are with somebody else, they probably could. It would project enough to be picked up if they're constantly in climate controlled environment. That's the key with this house, apparently. Okay, so let me read the postcard because they always give a description, and we will see. And when I purposely stayed away from reading it earlier, so I'm reading it for the first time along with you. So let's just see if it really describes this fragrance. Okay, here it goes. So this is Oolang Infini. His breath fogged the window while he watched new snow fall upon the frozen lake. Okay, I'll tell you right now, I've seen too many true crime shows for that to, sound romantic. That sounds like a true crime episode in the beginning of one where she had a smile that would light up a room. I'll try it again, but his breath fogged the window while he watched new snow fall upon the frozen lake. Okay? He came here to catch up on his writing and escape the city. At that moment, the fireplace crackled, ice settled in his glass, and his thoughts made their way back to the ink. Okay, so kind of a come-from-behind victory there. First sentence, I'm not so sure, but the rest of it, see what I mean here? Notice in this description, the first sentence it doesn't work for me, all right? But the rest of it does, actually, and I like the fact that they're focusing in on one person, and he's enjoying this fragrance. So again, I obviously said the same earlier when it came to watching TV. This is a cozy, snuggling scent. It is, and so something should be said about that. A lot of people wear fragrances just for themselves, and hey, I think that's great. I don't think it's great for $225, but that's just me, and so I wanted to read that for you. So that's the description. Actually, it works out quite nice. In fact, look at that. That's pretty cool. It's got some scotch on the rocks, or perhaps bourbon, and then it's got a typewriter, kind of old school. I like it. Actually, I like the description. I like it. I didn't think I would after the first sentence. So this one is par for course when it comes to longevity, projection, and sillage. Now, seasons are easy. Seasons will be, I would definitely say, winter and fall. Excuse me. So this is a fall winter, perhaps early spring, but this is a fall winter. I don't know that I would. Here's the thing, though. What I like about it is it has clear neroli in it, and the neroli is a top note, but it does last throughout the duration of the fragrance, which of course is 22 minutes. No, I'm kidding. The neroli is there throughout, however it lasts for you, and I do find that refreshing. So actually, this one is definitely a fall winter, but it could definitely handle the spring and the summer, again with the caveat that you basically get out of your car and go straight inside your workplace and you're just not outside at all, or you wear it at home. Maybe you work from home. Hey, if you work from home, you're going to love this house, actually. And that's going to be a home run for you in many ways. So that would be the season. Now let's get to age and gender. So let me do gender first, and I'll just say this one. To me, this one is. I mean, there's jasmine in it, but then there's Haitian vetiver. I'm just going to say right down the pike, 50-50. To me, this one is something that could easily be worn by. This is going to be, very popular with the tea-based fragrance crowd, and there are a lot of. It's an ardent following, and so. You will like that, and I just don't think gender matters here. I really don't. 50-50. So I'm just going to say 50% will be men, 50% will be women. Age, when you think of the Earl Grey tea type, folks. I mean, there's the occasional hipster. So why don't we say what? Let's go 25 and up. I mean, I wanted to say 35, so I'll split the difference. I'm going to say 30 and up when it comes to this fragrance, just because it really comes down to tea lovers. And if you're 18 and you love tea, you will love this. But I think most people who own this, have this, wanted it, will be 30 and up. I will go with that. It does have a slightly mature feel to it. I don't see too many college students, rocking this juice. All right, so we're going to go 30 and up on age. And then event, really, that's an advantage. The event to me would be slight, maybe semi-formal, something like that. But you could really wear this one with any with any clothing, any attire, excuse me. So, this would be fine for the workplace. This would be fine. It's going to come down to whether or not you like tea. And if you like tea, then you will like this fragrance. I don't see this as a romantic fragrance, but then again, I use the word cozy. So if you're snuggling on a romantic night in, then actually this might work for you. As a first date, would I wear this? No. Is it full blown? Would I categorize this as sexy for men or women? No. But it does have an originality factor. I just wish it had more of that kind of oomph factor that I just really, really love. Can't say that it does. So speaking of which, let's get to the rating then. I have to tell you, I have wrestled between a 3 and a 4 out of 5, of course, for my sprays system. I always take off for this house, one, because of their piss poor longevity projection and sillage for the price. You're going to get tagged on that one. $225 a pop for something like this, no way. I will say, though, I did see right before I started recording a limited edition bottle for this that was really, really impressive. Now, that might spark my interest, but other than that, no. So I'm already taking off one. I'm tempted to say that it doesn't. I would take off another spray because it just doesn't have enough personality to get it to the finish line for a 4. But then again, I feel like that's kind of hypocritical because I said earlier that it's a very original fragrance, and I don't think that I've reviewed tea-based, of course, but when you consider a combination of neroli with tea with guaiac wood, man, it smells divine, and so I'm tempted to leave it at a 4 and not take off a spray. Some days I would have definitely gone with 3. Other days 4, and again, like I've said before, the advantage of having 67 views for every episode that you make is no one really cares. So I'm going to go with, I'm in the giving mood, okay? I'm in the giving mood, and I like that it's cozy. And I like that my description actually was pretty much in line with this notion of staying home. It's for yourself. I buy into it. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 sprays. It's a come from behind victory. It's, I don't give half sprays. So this is like a 3 point, this is like a 3.45 where you round up to 5 and then you round up again. This one barely makes it to the roundup to a 4. So 4 out of 5 sprays for Oolang Infini, and I have a little bit left, so these will not be faux sprays. So I'll go 1 on each wrist, and then I'll go 1, like a dab on each side of the neck. 4 out of 5 for this 2011 Woody Aromatic by Jérôme Epinette. Jérôme, I do appreciate the originality, and that's why I've kept it at 4. Boom. Boom. And then I'll get every last drop of these samples. I'm getting my money's worth, by God. Boom. And boom. It'll be light, but then again, it's a light fragrance anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. You guys were demonstrating out in the streets. You contacted me. You flooded me with DMs demanding that I make up the episodes that I missed, and here I am. So you've asked for it. No, you've demanded it, and here it is. Oolang Infini. Really appreciated this one. I actually think in some ways I end up liking the reviews more, doing the reviews more when it's really a difficult rating. Because there's more to talk about here and walk you through why I thought it might be a 3 or a 4. So there you have it. Another episode by the boards, episode 227. And I'm proud to say my mom has seen them all. So thank you very much, Mom, for doing that. I do appreciate that. I've said this before. I throw in a lot of under my breath jokes, things like that. She picks up every single one. So I do appreciate that. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. It won't be next week. Actually, it'll be quite soon because I've got the makeups a-coming. So have a great week. I hope you're doing well. Happy Fragrant Friday to you, of course, as always. And never forget, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Even something like Déclaration du Soir, I don't know if it has, I think it's got some green tea in it, by Bulgari, for $30 or whatever. I mean, even something like that wouldn't surprise me at all because, it smells nice. Does it project? No. Does it have projection? No. And I'll even rub it in for Al here, talking street sense. All right, here we go. Okay, so this was the April 28th, makeup. Looking. Okay.